Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions didn't change much yesterday, still mildly bullish in our bear market. We are seeing, as I've mentioned though, we're seeing this number get closer and closer to zero. It's at negative 3.52, which aligns here on this setup. So we've seen it, it was all the way down here at negative 20. And so now we've just gradually been working our way back up. You can see the negative 20 right there. So we're definitely seeing some momentum stability right here, but we're just not seeing a lot of conviction. There's just not a lot of confirmation either direction at this point. Even after the banking situation the last couple weeks were that's probably what has been created some of the indecision here currently. We're seeing we're just not seeing a lot of breadth participating right here. We're seeing momentum start to move back up. We're seeing this sentiment, which has remained high, which, as I've mentioned before, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. It can act as a trend confirmation when you have everyone that are on the right side of the trade. They've guessed it right, so to speak. There's just not a lot of fear right here. The other way it can work is as a contrarian indicator where everybody's on the wrong side. Because everybody is on one direction of the trade, then it's overloaded and it's going to have some kind of a reversal. So we're still kind of stuck right here. We need, we need a good strong day or two or three moving in one direction or the other, but there is still just a little bullish hint here to this overall trend pattern that we've been, we're seeing higher highs here each of the time. So if we get another good confirmation move higher, and so the market may be waiting on more news to really determine what direction it wants to go. Possibly the earnings season that's coming up might be the catalyst. Momentum, though, has shifted back up significantly. We saw it drop. It was clear down here. Earlier in this trend, it was down here a little bit. But we're seeing this move back up. That is this orange line right here that has been moving higher. And we are seeing some price momentum. We just haven't seen a lot of participation currently in this trend as of now. Our buy-sell ratio, we're looking at still this is coming back down, which is kind of what we talked about. I would anticipate this to continue to come back down at least to this range, and then possibly another bounce, and then some confirmation as it's working back towards a possible new bullish trend. As I've mentioned, when you have this type of a profile, that's a bullish profile that allows that bias to be bullish, and currently we're just we're in this bearish profile. We've just got more stocks in downtrends than we have in uptrends, and so that's going to take some work for a little bit more participation to happen. But it's it's working slowly here. It's kind of churning out this little bullish profile, which is still where we're at as of today. Sentiment also still in that range, still below that halfway point, and hasn't had a real good confirmation move yet. On our Dow strategy, I've mentioned this a few different times. We're back up to 9 of the Dow stocks in uptrends and buy signals. We had quite a few move out of the sell. I think there was 14 the other day, and now it's moved back up to 12, and a couple have bumped up into buy. So we are seeing some trend shifts towards that bullish side. Some of these stocks that have moved to hold, one of them that I noticed was IBM, that had a good solid bullish move here. You can see that good strong confirmation off a bottom, and it has had a pretty significant downtrend here for the last little while, and you're seeing some of that with some stocks. Merck had also a nice little bullish pop, so it's moving from that oversold sell signal downtrend into this kind of that warning phase that it's either going to continue to this upside or downside. It's kind of that's really what that warning, that yellow is it's moving back into a trendless state and getting ready to move some other direction. So some interesting setups right here. Our new buy list, we've got HROW, which had a real solid breakout, medical stock. This is a situation where we get a strong breakout and the stock pops 12, 15, 20%, and runs up into that extreme level where it may need, sometimes they continue higher, but in a lot of cases it'll maybe pause for a few days and then it'll continue as this extreme price activity moves back inside that buy zone. That's on a strong day like that, typically wait for that just to pull back in just a little bit. Let's take a look here at some of the remaining. There were 2 or 3 really good looking patterns. ASUR, that's also a nice looking pattern where it's early in the trend here, and it has had a long consolidation phase. Now you have a confirmation bar here. You can set a stop loss either at this low or even a stop loss below that bar, depending on how tight you want to set up your risk parameters on that. HNRG is also a nice looking stock. This is a coal stock, had a deep retracement. Now it's reversing back up. Similar stocks to that first one that we looked at, where it's moved pretty hard on just that single day. But it's had the uptrend, the counter trend move, and then some confirmation here. Again, stop losses could be used either at the low below that most recent hold signal, which is probably the better place to set a stop loss, or if you want a nice tight stop loss, it's just under that confirmation bar at that point. If you don't have full access to the site, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.